it's Katie here with Life in the Mundane. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about what we're doing with our littles in the month of September and October for a 6-week period. What our unit's going to be. We're going to be studying all about me and studying about how they are created in God's image, studying about things our body can do with movements, our 5 senses, talking about the different parts of our body, and I'm really excited to share with you guys what we're doing specifically and how you guys can easily follow along and do similar activities with things you already have in your home, following a YouTube morning playlist that I'm going to talk about here in the video, and also by using a few internet tools that are awesome to help you. So let's get started. Okay, so first I should say, I just did a video on Wednesday talking about our overall plan for the year and all the different units that we're going to be studying this year with our preschool and toddlers. Also kind of laying out like how in-depth this is supposed to be. If that's something that interests you guys can go check it out in the iCards above or in the description below. You may want to watch that before you watch this video. But even if you haven't watched it, I think you'll be able to glean plenty from it. Basically, I have 2 littles and I have 4 kids that are school age that I'm homeschooling. And so I'm constantly looking for activities to do with them to make the most of the time that I get with them. So these are activities, just to be clear before I jump in, these are all activities for mom to do with that child. We take 10 minutes on the hour, and those 10 minutes are devoted directly to my child, to my littles. And the older kids just have to wait a second, or they can do independent work, and mom is working with the littles. So these are activities for mom to do with them, so I'm not planning 8 hours worth of activities. These are just a few quick 10-minute type activities that I can do over a 6-week period. Many can be repeated because toddlers and preschoolers love the repetition and honestly need the repetition to really get the concept. And so if you're looking for more ideas on filler time and how to fill all that other time when you can't be one-on-one with them, I did make a video playlist last year on homeschooling with littles that I will also link above and below. And there's 2 videos talking about really little kids and then talking more about that preschool age and how you can kind of keep them occupied and happy while you're homeschooling your older kids. So just so you guys know what this video is and what it is not, let's jump into some of the fun things that we're going to be doing during this unit on All About Me. As far as activities go, jumping into the meat of this, some fun things that I found and wanted to share with you guys is when you're talking about body parts and helping them understand, head, nose, ears, eyes, that kind of thing. Mr. Potato Head is a great tool, and a lot of us have something like that laying around. I found online a free printable, and if you can see, it's the 5 senses. And then you just put a push pin here with a piece of felt to give it a spinner, and I've still got to do that part, obviously. But it's a spinner game, and they're going to spin. They're going to say, oh, it landed on sight. What do we use to see? And so they're going to have to find the eyes and put it on Mr. Potato Head. Oh, smell. What do we use to smell? And so I love that it ties the 5 senses and the body parts, something tangible that they can relate to, and there's so many fun ways you can use this. I have put all of these printables, or as many as I could find, I've put most of these printables up on the Life in the Mundane Pinterest board, so you guys can go check that out to get all these printables yourself. But that was a fun one. Another one I found on Pinterest is we're talking about body movement and things our body can do. And I found these really fun moving cards. Activity for each one. So K is for kicks. Okay, so you drew a K. Can you kick? And they've got a lot of fun different ones. And like I said, it's a great way to work on a little bit of letter recognition while also working on movements. And it'll help them remember those letters as they can do it. You can even have them repeat the sound of the letter if you want. So, okay, we're going to do A, arm circles. The A says, ah, 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 ah. And have them do that while they do the movements. There's all sorts of studies showing connection between movements and making sounds or using spelling words. I do it with my kids when they're doing spelling. I'll have them spell something while they're jumping up and down, because putting that movement together with that spoken word really helps make a brain connection in their heads. So that's another great idea. Another one that I did when mine were little, when my older ones were little, and I didn't have all these fancy Pinterest printables as readily available, is I made these fun little flashcards. I wanted to make flashcards of body parts and I couldn't afford to go out and buy something. So I just took pictures of my son's hand and of his foot and of his nose and of his eyes. And I took it and I printed it off on printer paper. And then this is just foam, that foam paper. And I had some of that, so I cut it and I wrote on the back with a Sharpie and said hand And then I just took packing tape and wrapped it around to kind of give it a lamination feel, so they could bend it up and chew on it and it wouldn't matter. But this is a great, easy way. Anybody can do this, and your kids love and relate to being able to see, hey, that's my hair, that's my nose, and it makes it so much more fun than if you just get generic flashcards. Another one when you're talking about emotions is having a handheld mirror, or you can go into the bathroom mirror, but having a handheld mirror that your child can use to look into the mirror and see the expressions that they're making. Okay, can you make a happy face? Can you make a sad face? What does a confused face look like? And having them practice those faces and understand their emotions is so important, because as a toddler, they're experiencing a lot of emotions, but don't have the wording to express that, and don't always know what's appropriate to express that. Which also brings me to my next point. When you're talking about emotions, giving them some tools for when they're feeling them, they're mad or they're angry, giving them tools of how can we calm down? What's appropriate here? You know, my kids love Daniel Tiger, and one of their favorite songs is, when you feel so mad that you want to roar, take a deep breath and count to 4. And that got us through the toddler years of my son. It was amazing. So he would take a deep breath and he would count to 4. And by the time he was done, he was calmed down. Another fun one is to make these calming bottles. These are just Voss water bottles, if you guys have seen them in the store. I could care less about the bottled water, but I do buy them because they make really cool sensory bottles. And I just have, I don't know if you can see it, but I have little fun trinkets and toys in there, and just water, and then I just super glue the lid shut so that it's not going to spill or open, and no choking hazards. But I've also pinned a bunch of fun ideas for making these sensory bottles that can kind of help them calm down when they're worked up or frustrated. I also have a few activities saved to the side that are specifically for their siblings to do, the older siblings to do with the littles. When I'm working with somebody else in a lesson, we always have one older sibling who works with the littles for a few minutes in between transitions, and that's worked really well, but I have to give them something to work with them with, or it just turns into chaos and fighting or frustration. So here's a few of the things that we're going to be doing for our unit. These are printable placemats for Play-Doh. So I just printed this out and I laminated it. If you don't have a laminator, no worry, just use a sleeve protector. But basically it gives it a little bit of durability. And these are how to make a Play-Doh face. So we're talking about, again, body parts. Okay, did we give our girl ears? Oh, what about a nose? What about eyebrows? We can point out things like that depending on their level. Then we can also use it for emotions too, and talk about different kinds of faces that we can make and different kinds of expressions. And so much fun with that. And again, I put that on the Pinterest board too, and I put more ideas on the Pinterest board because my littles are on the younger end. They are more on the toddler, early preschool end. And so if you are working with a toddler that is more in the 4 to 5 range, and you're looking for a little bit more advanced activities, I've put some in there too that also fit this category to hopefully help you guys get started. Things I want to show you guys is my 5 Census book. This is actually a book we got when my son was doing speech therapy when he was younger, so I don't have the printable for this one exactly, but I found one that's pretty close to the same concept that I put in that Pinterest board for you guys. But my 5 senses, and it talks through what it is, and it has fun words there with it, but then it has matching cards, which is the interactive fun part for the littles. So it says, my eyes are for seeing. So can you find the eyes over here? And these are all Velcro. So they're gonna just take off the eyes, and they're gonna put it right here. Yes, my eyes are for seeing. Okay, my mouth is for what? And they can fill it in. It's for tasting. Okay, great, we're gonna do that. So these are just fun, interactive ways to do that. The last, one other really important tool that I have for you guys if you want to go along with us and do these units with us is our morning playlist. If you guys have heard me talk about it in other videos before, I put out a morning playlist on YouTube, and all it is, you go to my channel, Life in the Mundane, click on the playlist tab, and you will see that month's playlist come up. So September will be coming out on Sunday, I guess, yeah, Sunday. But it'll be coming out on the 1st. You can go there, and there'll be a September playlist for elementary age, so just know that. There will also be one for a pre-K toddler playlist. So you want to look for that one, click on it, and it will play through about 7 to 10 songs, and I will change this out every 6 weeks with our unit. They're really, really fun to get your kids up and moving. It's got a 5 Census song in there. It's got one about action words and how we can hop and jump and leap. It's got songs in there about how God created us, how we're special and unique, and there's just one of us, how we're thankful that God created us. All sorts of fun things. So lots of songs. So you can either use that playlist straight up, put it on your computer, on your tablet, on your TV or your phone for your toddler in the morning. Just a fun way to kick it off for them while you're working with your other kids. Or you can take that, if you don't like some of the songs, you can switch it out and create your own playlist and use those videos, the ones you like, to add to it. We've got this cute little basket here that's going to be available. It's going to be out in our living room so that during that 10-minute time window, my girls can come and grab something from there and bring it to me. Or during the time when I am not one-on-one with them and they're with their siblings, if they want to grab something from here and have them read it, they can do that as well. Obviously, Dr. Seuss the Foot Book, they don't all have to be, trying to meet some agenda. It can just tie in just by talking about feet. This is another favorite. It's called Who Has These Feet? And it's just a really fun book that there's a whole bunch in this series. But it says, who has these feet? And it shows your toddler or preschooler a picture and they have to guess which animal has these feet. Oh, yep, that's a duck's feet. Who has these feet? And they have to guess. And some are harder than others. So this is a squirrel. That one was a little bit harder. And so it's really fun to get them to guess, to do that problem solving and working that out, or how we're created. It's also talking about emotions. And this Usborne book was sent to me, if you guys saw it on Instagram, was sent to me a couple months ago, I guess. And it's all about feelings. And it's got all sorts of fun pages of information all about your feelings. And it goes through a lot more feelings than just happy, sad, mad. It talks about excited, confused, frustrated, things like that. So I love this book. It is full of a lot of information. So you wouldn't, for a preschool or toddler, you probably wouldn't want to sit down and just straight read it, but it's great to pick up and just read a few pages because, for my littles, that's about the attention span oftentimes that they have. So I just went around my house and looked at different books that we had that applied to this theme. I intentionally made the themes very broad so that you could cover as much or as little as you want, and whatever seemed to click with your child the most, you could do with them. So I went through, if you guys have seen my video on organizing your picture books, we organized by seasons. We have 4 different tubs that we rotate through, but we also have several topics that are listed on the top of that tub that show what goes in where. So I was able to just go to my winter box that had all of the My Body, Myself type books, and was able to go in and get all of those out quickly and not have to dig around everywhere for it. So that was super nice. But I'm sure you already have kids' books that would fall into this category. So as you can see, I have shown you some fun printables that you can get from Pinterest and ideas of things you can make on your own, like our little flashcards made of foam. But if you're looking for more printables like this and you would like to customize it more, maybe you can't find quite what you want, I would really recommend Lesson Picks. It is a website that is designed for parents and educators to really come alongside their kids and give them visual materials that are made specifically for them. So we have our first then board, and I love to use this with my toddlers. Basically, instead of having a long picture schedule of everything that's coming for the day, because let's be honest, how many of us can really project what's going to be happening in the next hour, let alone all day long? I can help show my child just what's going to happen in the next few minutes. Okay, so first, I need you to do your reading with your sister, and you can read a book with her, and then when you're done, mommy's going to do bubbles with you. And just kind of letting them know first then. And it's been a huge help to me with working with my toddlers. Lesson Picks has all these printables for these schedules, and they have all the printables for the little tabs of what you want to put on here as well. I keep it in a notebook and then just keep the rest of the options that we typically use down here. And I don't necessarily use this all day long, but it's more when they're starting to fight you on something or you're finding hard transition moments. This is a great tool to use for them. You usually want to put the preferred activity, the bubbles, after the non-preferred activity. So, okay, we're just gonna do this. I know you're not really excited about it, you wanna get to bubbles, but we're gonna do this first and then we'll get to do bubbles. And just giving them that little bit of structure ahead of time really helps. I also found on Lesson Picks these fun little puppet guys. Right now I've just printed them out and have cut them out, but I haven't laminated them yet. I'll laminate them and then I'll put them on popsicle sticks. But they're all these fun little emotions. We've got, scared, and embarrassed and dizzy and frazzled and angry and things like that. And so I love the fact that I just went to and I typed in emotions. It automatically popped up all of these fun characters, and then I could put it into whatever format I wanted. I could make it into games. I could turn it into, like I said, puppets. I could turn it into flashcards, whatever. And I love how they have all of these tools right there at your fingertips that you can just click and use, and can make it whatever you want. I'm gonna do a video more about this program and all the different ways that I like to use it for homeschooling in particular, coming up in September. So be sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, so you can see more about that. But if you're curious and you want to know more right now, you can look down in the links below and in the description, and I have linked their website there. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid for this review. It's just a program I truly love and have used since my oldest, who's 10, was probably 2-ish, 18 months to 2. And I love this program, and I really think more homeschoolers should know about it because it makes life so much easier. If you guys are following along, will you just comment below? I would love to know if this is helping somebody out, or what you liked the most out of this video, what you would have liked to see more of. This is a new thing for me to share what we're doing with our toddlers and preschoolers, so I'm totally up to suggestions. Also, if you have other activities or ideas on something having to do with this unit, drop links below. Let me know what you guys have done, what you've tried, or what you enjoy, and I would love to take a look at that because I'm always looking for new ideas. Helpful to you guys. My plan is to do a video like this for toddler time, kind of talking about what we're doing for that toddler pre-K time, to do that every 6 weeks before we start our unit, so that you can have time, if you're doing it along with us, to prepare your materials and get ideas, check out those Pinterest boards, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram if you want to see pictures and videos and ideas too, all along through the month as I find new things. I will be updating the Pinterest board and Facebook and Instagram, so definitely be sure to follow us there. All the information is down below in the description if you guys want to check that out. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.